All right, guys, session two. If you can hear me, please somebody type into the chat box. I appreciate it. We are recording now. This is going to be, this is going to be going over how to read bills, and I'm going to be doing the entire state of Ohio or as much as we can while we're talking here for the next hour and 15 minutes until Chris gets on, right? So I'm going to bring you in through the market. So to give an example, there's a difference between a supplier on the bill, and there's a difference between the actual LDC, the local distribution center, right? And up in Northern Ohio, we have First Energy which owns all of Toledo Edison, Ohio Edison, CEI, First Energy, obviously. Penelec in Pennsylvania, they own a lot of different territories, and they're the LDC. They're the one that transports and distributes the energy, okay? They don't make any money on the energy for generation, and that's where the supply comes in. You guys have to remember, energy deregulation was voted by our constituents in Ohio and 19 other states, right, to deregulate the monopolies, and those monopolies were billion-dollar local distribution centers. They were making money on everything, and they could set pricing. And when I came into energy in 2008, I believe it was, when I got in, I was paying like 16 cents a kilowatt. I remember one of my MCFs were like $11 an MCF. Okay, ridiculous, right? So I'm telling you guys this because it has obviously brought the pricing way down. Plus, look what's going on in America right now with our drilling and fracking. Some of the the Marcellus Shale and things like that. We're producing our own self-sufficient energy right now. It's keeping the pricing down. So we're going to talk about energy and reading bills. So real simply, you can make some serious mistakes on these bills, okay? And that's why we train. And, we deal, obviously, electricity is very simple. Everything across America in electricity is kilowatts, okay? I mean, there is things called megawatts, which is 1 million kilowatts. 1 megawatt's 1 million kilowatts. 100,000 kilowatts is 100,000 kilowatts. There's no other form. But when you get into gas, oh my gosh, just in my state, I have two different types of energy. One is MCFs and one is CCFs, right? We're going to go through a little bit of that and what that means. I'm not going to get it to you in details. I'm just going to tell you it's a matter of moving a decimal point. We're doing dollars to pennies, okay? I'm not going to get into, these are the hundredths and these are the thousandths and all that. No, I'm not going to get into the Roman numerals and all that. I'm not going to get into British therm units. I'm not going to do that here. I'm just going to show you guys on what these bills are, how to read them, how to price them, okay? The pricing will come when we get to the matrices. I'll do that at 1 o'clock. But right now, I just wanted to show you guys how to read bills. So when you go through, and this is all training, there is no website, there is no video, there isn't anything out there that tells you this is the account number, this is the service delivery identifier, this is the customer number. It's all done through training. Most markets are different, okay? In simplicity, a lot of the markets you go to, when they ask for the account number on the bill, it's the account number. In Ohio, it ain't like that. In Ohio, it's a thing down here called the customer number, okay? Down in Middle Ohio, which is Columbus, whereas AEP and Columbia Gas of Ohio, it's the service delivery identifier, okay? And we're going to talk about that as we go through reading the bills, because this is information that you need, and we're just going to, primarily show you from, how to price it. How do you price something if there's no supplier? How do you know if it, for an example, let's say I want to open up a new business, right? If I open a new business, I don't have a supplier assigned to me. I don't get a supplier assigned to me unless I do it myself, or I go almost 6 months with the utility, right? And the utility then is charging me for the generation when I'm a new company. But it's wide open. You can go grab that person anytime, okay? So I would just want to give you some examples like that. This is the Illuminate Company bill up here. This is a customer we closed a while back, a couple of years ago, actually, maybe a year and a half ago, 2018. This is Notre Dame College Division II in South Euclid of Cleveland. It's a nice campus. Kudos out to Rob for doing this. This is through him. And they're burning a lot of energy, obviously. It's a college, and I'll talk to you guys about that, okay? So going through the bill, there will always be messages here. You do not want to see a disconnection notice, okay? If there's a disconnection notice on that bill, most companies will not accept it. Most suppliers will not accept it, okay? So on this bill, we're going to be talking about, this is the billing address, and then there's a service address on some of these, okay? Obviously, the service address is very critical. Some of them are the same. When you're filling out contracts, it's going to ask for the billing address, and then some of them are going to ask for the service address, okay? Make sure you know the difference. Make sure some of them will have the service address down in the middle. Most definitely this one has both on the same page, okay, on the upper left-hand corner. Some will be different. This is, Notre Dame 4545 College Road. And then there might be another meter later that has something different, like Building 2. Then you have different account numbers, things like that, right? So contracts are pretty simple. You just have to do them a lot to get used to them. They're just going to ask you who's the person signing it, what is their title, what's their email, and what's their phone number. Everything else is on the bill that goes on that contract, right? So if you look at this contract, they're paying $11,000 a year. That's the entire energy spend. The bill, every bill has two sides to it, okay? And what that means is there is the utility side, which is the illuminating company's charge of $5,258. And then there's Mid-American Energy. This is their supplier, okay? All right, it's at $5,800. And we're going to talk about that as I scroll down. So $11,000 is everything. It's two sides of the bill. You have what we call the demand side, which is from utility. You cannot touch the demand side. We can only help with the supply side, okay? The demand side, the only way to lower that is if you help them change their transformer, okay? Which you're not going to do at all, okay? Most of you aren't, right? We can do it in Ohio, but you're not going to do it, right? So, or they get LED lighting. They reduce their entire spend 60% because they put LED lighting in. That helps the demand side. They get solar. They get microturbines. That helps the demand side, okay? It also helps the supply side, but we can't touch the demand side unless we're doing something like that, and that is all done through Verde, which you're going to hear about, at 11 o'clock and later at 4 o'clock, okay? So that's what we're doing. So we focus on the supply side. Now, every single bill, most of them in Ohio, have all 12 months of history. Look at how nice this is. Ohio is great at reporting on their bills, okay? Most of the states are. Most of the states are. Some of them don't tell you, like, they'll just give you a bar like this and make you guess, and you got to sit there and kind of guesstimate, right? Which I hate, but not Ohio. Ohio also does last 12 months of kilowatt usage, 1.1166600 million kilowatts, right? The average month is 93,000 a month. This is a great account, okay? This is an account that we would custom quote and blah, blah, blah. But I wanted to show it to you because it's really plain and simple, and it's got a horrible supplier on it that I don't believe we even use. But this is what we're going by. So we're going by the 1 million kilowatts. That's what we're pricing, okay? Well, who are we pricing against? We're pricing against Mid-American Energy Services, okay? Now, to back this up, in the Cleveland market with all these First Energies, Toledo Edison, Ohio Edison, the number that we need on the contract is called the customer number right here. Okay, do you see that? It's the customer number. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 different numbers. That is not the account number. If you send this account number in, they will reject it, okay? Contracts will reject it. It's got to be the customer. This is part of training, right? The supplier we're going up against is Mid-American. It could be IGS Energy. It could be Santana. It might be one of ours, right? And that's fine. You can take a direct energy supplier contract that we don't have written with direct energy and put it on a new direct energy, and it moves over to our book of business. That's okay. Okay, very, very doable here. On this one here, we're going to talk about what they're paying per kilowatt. This is ridiculous. This is actually, a lot of companies put a lot of stuff in here to make it confusing for the customer. We get through it all. We get through the weeds on it. This customer right now is being charged 4.999 cents per kWh. And the first, what is this? The first 113,000 kilowatts they had at a price of 11 cents. You see that? So how do we really get the true price of what this supplier is charging? Well, we know they're charging them $5,800, but how do we do the math on that, right? So what I'm going to do, make it real simple. I'm going to bring up a calculator. Now watch this, all right? We're going to do the price times divided by the kilowatts. That's how we do it. It's 58. It's 5818. What is that? 0.03 divided by, and I believe that was 113,700, right? 113,700, right? There we go. 113,700, correct, equals. So really they're paying 5.11 cents per, so it's 5 cents, right? 5.11 on this product here, not 4.99, because they did some craziness here with an adjustment, right? So that's what you're going up against. That's the price that you're going to be trying to beat. Obviously, we're in the fours. At 1 million kilowatts, we're in the low fours. We're at 4.445. So you have a distance of probably 6, 7, 8 mils. What is a mil? So everybody on the line tonight, most of you obviously you seasoned veterans know what a mil is, okay? A mil is 1/10 of a penny, and that's how we get paid. We get paid commissions on mils, right? So if you're at a 50% commission in our company and you put 6 mils on a deal, you're making 3 mils. If you're at 50% commission and you're putting 10 mils on a deal, which is a penny, right? So that would be, if we're getting a raw rate of a 4.3 and we make it a 5.3, right? You'll make 5 mils. That's how it works. And 5 mils on this here is over a $15,000 commission, okay? Not a 1 million kilowatt account like that. So we're going to talk about that math when I go to the matrices later. But I just want to show you the bare minimums of how to read a bill and different ones in different territories, okay? I'm going to do all electricity through the market of Ohio, and then I'm going to go back and do some gas, all right? So that's what's on this bill here. There's all, this person sent multiple bills, as you can see, with multiple meters. And you can take, multiple meters and stick them onto contracts. Contracts actually have enough space to do that. If not, we can do an addendum. It's not that hard. So this customer right here, we closed this customer at like a 4, I think it was a 4.6 or something like that. Reduced it from the 5.1, saved them tens of thousands of dollars. And it was good for the customer. And obviously the commission was very good too when you're dealing in this much volume. So these are the basic things you need to know on, is to identify what are they doing yearly, identify what the supplier is charging, okay? That's critical here. What is the supplier charging? I just did the math. The math is real simple. When we get to AEP next, I'll be able to show you guys that they make it even easier for everybody. I call it the AEP circle, and it shows the supply charges and everything on one circle. So, but this is what we do in the first energy market. I think I do have a few other first energy. Hold on. What else do I have? Here's consolidated, DP&L, bypassable. I'm going to do that last. Ameren. Okay, cool. AEP Energy, AEP Inc. Awesome. So let's go to AEP, okay? There's that circle I'm talking about. So AEP is American Electric Power. They are the local utility, okay? Now be very careful. In a lot of markets, there are retail divisions that are separate buildings, separate shareholders, separate LLCs, whatever you want to call it, of the local utility. In this market, there is, okay? AEP Energy runs all the electric transportation distribution. AEP Energy Inc. is a separate company that does supply. Don't get confused. I'll show that to you on a bill here right after this. So if I run across this customer, it's a Japanese steakhouse, okay? Real simple. Look at this. They show the kilowatts, the entire charges, and there's the supply charges. So if you want to quite simply go out here and figure out what the price is per kilowatt, I'm not even going to go down to the supply right now, okay? I can't make that small enough. Hold on. Let me clear this. So I'm going to take the charge, which is 741.04. Oh, there we go. 741.04 divided by, hold on, 12,560 kilowatts. There's their charge. They're at a 5.9, guys. Okay, it's almost 6 cents, right? It's one tenth away from 1 mil away from being 6 cents. Now let's do this. Let's scroll down and let's start reading this. Okay, you'll see where it gets a little different. So this is AEP Ohio, middle of Ohio. You have 158,000 kilowatts for the last 12 months on this bill, right? For the last 12 months, so it's a nice little account. And you have the 13,220 that they said they used. But if you go down here, you're going to see here is all of AEP's charges, right? Most of these, this is when you're going to get into tariffs. You're going to get medium general service. So when you go into the matrices, which we're going to do at 1 o'clock, right? You know, that'll be the next meeting I do after this. Chris is doing the 11. I'm going to do the 1 after lunch. All this stuff matters. All the tariffs and medium general service. This medium general service, there's a small, medium, and large, right? Well, to us, it's a G1, G2, or G3. That's how we kind of code that. And that will tell you when you're starting to go through the matrices and get pricing and you're filtering them for your pricing, that will tell you exactly what price you have down to one square. There might be 7,400 different prices for a whole market. I'll show you guys how to actually get the matrices down to one square, 36 months, 158,000 kilowatts a year. There's your price, okay? And then you add your mills to it. It's pretty cool how that works. But this is from AEP Ohio. Remember I told you about the service delivery identifier? Look at that. I think this is the 17-digit number right here. That is what goes on the contract, not the account number. What is the account number on this? Over here. See that? Very confusing, but that's how these guys do the market. This is how we get through the weeds and we close our customers, okay? Now let's get to the supplier section. Here it is. IGS Energy. What are they charging? 5.9. You see how I worked through that, guys? I showed you guys up at top. I didn't have to do. I could have just came down and saw they're only charging 5.9 for 12,560 kilowatts. But you know, I just did the math and made it really simple. I still go and take this amount and divide it by that. At the circle up here, you're going to see there's the 7401 and there's the 12,560. Okay. And the reason why the 12,560 is there, it could be adding a bunch of meters on here. There might be 2 or 3 other meters on that building. You would write those all in on the contract and include it, okay? This is AEP Ohio. Now, AEP Ohio has Columbus Southern. Columbus Southern is the corporation that owns all of AEP, all right? And they have different divisions. Like up in Cleveland, we had First Energy that owns Toledo Edison, Ohio Edison, CEI, right, and so on. Those are different markets within that territory. In this market, which is pretty much central Ohio, there's Columbus Southern and there's AEP OP, Ohio Power, okay? How do we know the difference between an AEP Columbus Southern bill or an AEP OP, which is Ohio Power? It's very simple. The first 4 digits of the service delivery identifier. 004 is Columbus Southern. 0014 is AEP Ohio Power, and that's what you'll do. You'll put on the matrix. Okay, here's OP right here. All right, see, this is much nicer. This one here. I scroll down. Service delivery identifier is not 0004. It's 0014. This is Ohio Power. Be very careful, guys, because you're going to look at the top of the bill and see that it's AEP Ohio, thinking it's Ohio Power, and it might be Columbus Southern. So I'm just telling you that if you have any questions, how I train all my reps is go get bills. Go get bills for your territory. Scan them. I'll bring you into the Zoom meeting privately, and we'll go over everything so you don't make any mistakes, right? And if you make some mistakes, the ladies catch it. The ladies that are at corporate catch it. Laura Madrigal and Lily, they'll catch it and say, hey, you don't have the service delivery identifier. You have the account number in there. hey, did you know that you priced Columbus Southern and not OP? You know, things like that. And they're very good. And it comes back from the suppliers will reject it, and it's all good for us, okay? But you can see the difference here. This is the AEP circle, same thing, but this is a different territory. It's just a different territory. Don't ask me why. They look exactly the same, and so on and so forth. Here's Capital Energy is their supplier. This one's a 533. If you look here, look, there's lighting here with a service delivery identifier, outdoor lighting. You have a parking lot, and then they have a service delivery identifier here. This is another medium general service. Almost all of your energy, 80-some% will be medium general service, okay? We call it a GS2, okay? That's kind of the code for that. Pretty simple. I know your head's spinning, but that's why I record all this stuff. Hopefully the cloud is working. The cloud did not work for the first one. It did not even register in my account. There's been a lot of draw since everyone's been home, and I think they're stopping a lot of cloud storage stuff, okay? Now check this out. Let me go back. Let me close this current tab. Hold on one second here. I'm going to show you AEP Energy. There's another one, AEP Ohio, right? Cameloni or Camel One or whatever, Cameloni LLC. If you scroll down, there's your AEP Energy, right? This is AEP Energy Inc. This is a supplier now. Very confusing, but you need to know the difference, okay? So AEP Energy Inc. is a supplier on the bill at a 575, and AEP, which is the supplier or the utility, runs the whole territory, okay? It's pretty cool how everything is on most bills. I know, Leslie, I know you're in Pennsylvania, some of your markets do dual billing where they bill the customer with the transportation and delivery, and then the supplier sends them a separate bill. It's a pain in the butt for the customer, but that's how some markets designate that. And we also do that for some territories and some accounts that are huge, okay? I'm going to show you what that means. It's called a consolidated bill, and we're going to get into that here shortly. Let me move down south, okay? So Dayton, Ohio. Dayton, Ohio has a company called DP&L, right? Dayton Power and Lighting, and this is their local utility down there. Same thing. It's the same type of bill. 12 months history, 871,000 kilowatts on this account. Same, you know, iGus Energy is their supplier at a 565. You're going to get to know these bills, guys, really good, but pricing you're going to really get to know good. You know, if anybody's at like a 5.3, 5.4, 5.5, you're going to kill them. We're in the fours. All our raw rates are in the fours. I haven't had one raw rate in the last year that's been in the fives, okay? And the raw rate means that's exactly what you have to work with to add your commissions and split that commission with the company, okay? So it's pretty awesome. I love it. And so when I see a 5.6, a 5.5, if I even see a 5.1, I'm beating it. I'm going to win. It's all about winning the deal, okay? It's all about winning a deal. It doesn't matter if you didn't make much on it. Sometimes you just got to suck it up. Sometimes you get paid up front, depending on the supplier you pick. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're going to get residual. It's okay because you're building a residual book of business. You know, there's some people here that have a really very nice residual coming every month. And, you know, when something like this happens, my Corona issues, they can take it easy. You know, they can relax if they know they have X amount of dollars coming in, you know, every month because they've written some pretty large accounts. So DP&L, let me get back to this same thing. You're looking for what the supplier is you're going up against, what your usage is, and then right here, let me do this. Can I click this down here? Hold on. Oh, it doesn't. Let me do it slow. Hold on. It's two different pages. Right here is there's a secondary three-phase. So this would be a GS3, they call it. All right, but the rate code is a 737. That would allow you to find it in the matrix, okay? That allows you to find that in the matrix, and we'll get to that when I told you at 1 o'clock on how to do that. All right, let's move down into Duke. Now, Duke is a very unique territory. Duke has everything on one bill, and it does get a little confusing, okay? Here's one of the disconnection notice. So Duke has gas and electric on their entire bill for the customer. So here's the gas charge, $468. Here's the electric charge, of 680, okay? But you're going to get a lot of dual energy there. And guys, there's no reason why, like in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, most of the East Coast, New York, New Jersey, all those guys, Connecticut, you can do dual bill, you can get dual contracts, okay? If you're getting the electric, get the gas. The gas is the most, it's a secret residual a lot of people don't go after, and it actually helps you win some pretty serious deals, some bigger deals. As a matter of fact, if you're fighting over the electric with a bunch of suppliers, you're going up against a lot of competition, and you got a little war going on, a lot of times they're not touching the gas. I come in and crush it on the gas. Sometimes I make more on the gas than I do on electricity, okay? Because I had to go skinny on the electric, with the competition there. So, but anyways, on this bill, you're going to see that Duke is the hold on one second here. Duke Energy is the local utility. On here, let me see where the supplier section is. Hold on. Let me scroll through here. They may not have a supplier here. Hold on, let me go through. That's electric. That's Duke Energy's charges. Hang in there. Here's your graph. So the electric shows total usage 12 months, 79,568, right? The gas shows 4,200, right? So these are probably CCFs, I'm imagining. I'll go through this here in a second. But let me scroll through this real quick here. All right, gas. Here we go. So on the gas meter, you're going to have Duke Energy, and then you'll see Volunteer Energy Services. That's the supplier. They got them at a 0.52. That's per CCF. You'll see it's 0.52 cents or 52.5 cents, right? If it was a MCF, that decimal, you would move to the right, and it'd be $5.25. It's just it's the same exact usage, but it would go from 302 CCFs to 3,000, okay? I'm sorry, to 30. It would be 30. That's my mistake. You got to go down. So that's the supplier on that end. On the electric, they look like they're directly with the utility on this one. There's generation charges all the way through. So how would you find the price on a Duke Energy bill where Duke is doing both the distribution and delivery, and they're also generating? Generation is supply, guys. Okay, so you know that, okay? Generation is supply. You can see there's some taxes down here. So let me get the calculator out again. We're working with $391.34, and you can see it's coming off of what? What is that coming off of on there, on the kilowatts? You guys remember? Got to go back up to you can go back up to the graph, right? The graph says that month is 78.62. It's obviously the last month that we're working on, okay? So let's just do that real quickly. Let me do that real quick. I'm going to scroll down here. I'm going to get that calculator back out. We're going to clear it. All right, we're going to take 391.34, 391.34, and divide it by what? We're going to divide it by 78.62. That's 7,862 kilowatts, right? They're at a 4.9. They're at a 4.97, all right? And that's what you're going up. That's a pretty good rate, actually. You're still going to beat it. You're going to beat this, I know that. But anyways, that's how you do it. It's pretty simple. Same thing, when you go back over these parts of the bill, you're going to look at what is their rate code. They have completely different rate codes. This is a DSO1. Don't ask me why Duke is different, but that's how they do it, okay? So that's all the electric bills in the Ohio market. What are we at, 1014? Oh, beautiful. Now I'm going to hit some gas, okay? I'm going to go back to natural gas for the Ohio market, and we're going to start back up in Cleveland, which is Dominion, East Ohio, right? It's the only some of Columbia, Ohio ekes up into some of the Cleveland markets, but I'm just going to use Notre Dame again. They're a large user, obviously. I think we made more on gas on Notre Dame College than we did on the electric because we had to go against some competition, right? So real simply, on gas, in Dominion's section is MCFs. So you're going to be charged $1 per MCF charge instead of pennies, right? Change. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. Dominion, obviously using MCFs, it's going to show you, this is beautiful, same thing, monthly usage, but there's your total. That's what you're pricing. You're pricing 1,993.7 MCF. The account number here is the same. There is no service delivery identifier. There is no customer number. The account number on the bill is the account number we're putting into the contract, right? Makes it real easy. Here's the distribution from Dominion. Dominion's taking care of all the distribution charges, which is $471. And Gas Search LLC. Now, guys, don't even ask me who they are. They're out of Belmont, Ohio. I never heard of them. This is the first and last time I've ever seen this customer. They got them at $3.57 per MCF. So if you do $3.57 times 310.7 MCF, that is $1,109. I used 8 or 9 MCFs last month in my home. Okay, that's a good comparison from residential to commercial, right? So our job is to beat 357, which I know we're down in the twos. All the gas is pretty much down in the twos right now in my market, and that has to do with my territory. There is no special codes. It's pretty simple, okay? And that's pretty much what we do on Dominion. We just go by what we're going up against. The most critical thing when you're getting a bill and you're getting information from the customer, and everybody on the phone is probably saying, "Oh, I can't believe you haven't said this yet." I haven't because I forgot. So the most critical thing is getting the current contract end date. If I go to Notre Dame and their end date is in December of 2020, right? Or July of 2020, I have to price my matrix from that forward, okay? If they are not in the contract, let's say there was no Gas Search LLC, then I'd price it, this month or next month, whenever the matrix allows me to go, right? And that's what I would do. I would price it from them. So I'm just trying to tell you that's critical. It's critical to get the end date. If you call me and I got bills from so-and-so, I'm so excited, and you send them to me, okay? You have them scanned, or the customer sends them to you scanned. Do not take pictures of the bills. I will send the email back to you and say, go get me copies in a PDF, okay? I can price it quickly if you send me a picture, but I need PDFs. The suppliers will not accept anything, and the ladies in our home office, legally, they cannot have pictures. Everything must be taken with TurboScan, Cam Scanner, Tiny Scanner, whatever scanner you have on your phone that you love, okay, or a scanner, or just copies of the bills. I don't take copies from the customers. I just use my TurboScan on my phone, all right, and then I can store it, and I have it forever. Send me those, okay, please. If you scan bills, you're going to look like this. They're going to be vibrant and large and clear, so that's what you want to do, guys, all right? The larger customers are just going to send you files, but you need the customer's end date. You need their first and last name, who's going to sign, the decision maker. What is their position and title, email and phone number. That's all going on in the contract. Boom, you're done, okay? And then the rest of the information is on that contract, so which we're going to show you guys how to do here at pretty much near the end of the afternoon. But that's the Dominion natural gas, okay? Let's go down into Columbus's market, which is going to be Columbia Gas of Ohio. Oh, why are we doing that? Installing no, we're not installing an update. Don't do that to me, please. Oh, wow. Adobe is installing an update while I'm doing a training. How do you like that? Is that on everybody? Yep. Great. Hang on a second. So anyways, what I want to say is, yeah, end dates, got to have them. I have a form that I go by a lot of times, and just to make sure I'm getting all the right information from a customer. That's pretty critical. Okay. Adobe's just going to decide in the middle of a national training to do an update on my computer. Isn't that wonderful? Oh man, this couldn't be a better thing. Hold on. Yeah. Wow. So make sure you get the bills, you get the copies, you get that information. Hold on one second here. It is critical. The other thing too, when you're dealing with a customer, I like to fill my customers in on everything. So what I mean by that is I like to set my customer up for competition. I like to tell my customer things like, now, is it possible, Joe, if their name is Joe or whatever, is it possible that I have last chance at pricing? I would like to get when everybody gets their bids in, I would like to have the last chance to, to price that, or last look and win the deal for you. Okay. I like to tell customers my company has over 122 trade desks on the internet and blah, blah, blah. I really lay it on them. We do, 75,000 buildings and so on and so forth, right? Oh, we're up. Okay, good. So here's Columbia Gas of Ohio. Same thing. Account number is an account number on gas, right? This is a commercial account. It's going to tell you, right, really nice and simple. There's your 13-month usage, but you can go down here and see the average is 818 CCF per month or 9,816 CCF. So if you're converting, like sometimes we have to convert because you're getting bills from both territories, MCFs to CCFs, 9,816 CCFs is 981.6 MCFs, okay? Watch how this works. It's pretty cool. And this is a pretty consistent customer. What are they? What is this? I think this is a insurance agency. Wow. They have 12 months of gas? That's unusual. I thought this was a dry cleaner. Anyways, so here we go again. Customer charge. It's going to tell you this is the supply. This is the Columbia Gas of Ohio charges. This is the local utility, right? Down here is the customer choice program. This is where you get into the supplier. It's IGS again. So you can see sometimes it's upside down. The supply is $755, but the actual delivery is $335. Gas is very unique. It's a little bit different commodity. Both markets kind of run together only because now we're using natural gas to create electricity, right? Most of those plants instead of coal and nuclear. They're shutting all those places down. There's also a couple things on here. Some of them will give you the pricing in sentences. They don't have a breakdown bracket like in those last bills. There's no rate codes on these. There isn't any, service delivery identifiers. Very simple. What's very unique about gas is in the Columbia Gas Ohio is the meter and the service delivery or the service address is here. Okay, so you have the billing address on here, which is Signard at 216 whatever, and then down here you have the service address. So make sure you're putting the service address on the section that asks for it on the contract, and you're putting the billing address. A lot of these guys own multiple companies, and their billing address might be in PA, Texas, or Oregon, okay? But their service address has got to go in the service address section. So we're pricing 9,816 CCFs. If we scroll down to the supplier is IGS. It's $705 at the rate of $579. So that's point. You see the point there? That's 57 cents, almost 58 cents. Okay, you can't have a point of 0.5710. It'd be a 0.57 or a 0.58 would go to, right? So that's what we're pricing against. We don't mess with taxes. Taxes have nothing to do with us. It's entered into the cost, but we do not price taxes. Okay, that's out of our number. We're only doing the supply. So 57.9 is what I have to beat. Obviously, we're in the 3s and 4 or 2s right now. So you would crush this bill. So you guys know this. There are different suppliers allows you to add on different amounts of commissions. Okay, this is what you're going to have to learn down the road. I'll train on it. I'll do a supplier training just on who pays a year up front, who pays 3 years up front, who pays residual, who allows you to put 10 mils on a deal, a penny, who allows you to put 22 pennies, only one, NG. NG's is the beast in the room, okay? NG pays 3 years up front. NG allows you to put 20 mils on a deal, which is 2 cents. So like right here, this isn't electricity, this is gas, but I would be able to put on this, I could probably put on with NG a good, they're at 5.7. If I'm at a 2.9, 3.9, 4.9, I could put 20 cents on this, which would be $2 on MCFs. It's crazy, I know, on that conversion. That's a lot. And then of course they split that with you, right? Some cap it at a mil, some cap it at 10 cents. I mean, it just depends on who the supplier is, and we just have to learn that. That's what is so great about this company is we're giving you 100% control of the price to the customer, okay, which is their savings, the commission to you, and the profit of Navigate Power. You and one swipe of a pen of a customer have dealt with all three of those entities. Our profit, your profit, right, your commissions, and the company savings. All right. I haven't written a bill since I've been here in 2.5 years of a price higher than what the customer's paying. Every customer I have written in the last 2.5 years, we save them money. Okay. We're in the game of saving people money. That's what we do. Pretty cool. That's Columbia Gas of Ohio. All right. The next one would be back to Duke. I showed you Duke with the gas and electric on that. Okay. Vectren. Vectren is in the DP&L area. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit more confusing. I don't think they show us what they use per year on this. Hold on. Here's your chart. This is your chart. When I look around here on the natural, it's CCFs. So you're doing points, right? Point something, 0.57, 0.37, not dollars. Let me see something here. Okay, here we go. It does show. Okay, total CCFs is 4,697. You can see I'm writing on my bills before I scan them. So that's what I'm looking to price. Now here, the utility is Vectren. Okay, the supplier is Constellation New Energy Gas Division. All right, they're charging 0.42 cents per CCF. See that right here? They're charging 0.4230 cents, and that's the price you have to beat. You'll be down in the low threes, trust me. You'll probably save them a whole a dime. A dime is $1 if it's an MCF. Just remember that, okay? I'm going to say that a lot, guys. That's the biggest conversion issue that people have on natural gas. Same thing here. The account number is the account number, okay, which is right here. Let me see. Do they have a service delivery? No. It's all the same address. Oh, there it is. Service address is right there. There may be a billing address in here. I'm not seeing it though. The other thing too is critical. Make sure you get every page. Okay. Don't get a lot of customers like to play games with you, and they'll send you just the page on how much they use without the pricing. Right. I stop the customer and I tell them, if you want me to do business with you and price you correctly with the tier 1 suppliers, that's the best suppliers in America, I need the entire bill. I'm not here to play a guessing game at what your current supplier is or whatever. You know, I'm very bold with my customers. Okay, I have a lot of posture with them. You're the professional in the room. They are not. They don't trade. They don't do commodities. They think they know what they're doing. Most of them don't. As a matter of fact, you're going to be shocked. Most customers don't know what the heck they're doing. They overlap contracts. They get ETFs, early termination fees, damages fees because they don't remember their end dates. It's just happened to me recently, okay? And I hate it because sometimes it affects my commissions, right? But you need to know that stuff. So make sure the customer is going out there and giving you the right information, and don't have them dictate to you, okay? I tell them things like, hey, man, you are the best pizza maker on the world. I can never do what you do, but I guarantee, Joe, you can never do what I do, okay? We just closed Notre Dame College. We just closed the entire city of Lorraine, 85 million kilowatts. We just closed blah, blah, blah. If you understand commodity and you think the rates are where they should be and blah, 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 that's how I do it, you know, and I'm fair. If I have a spread between what they're paying and what my raw rate is, let's say I have 10 mils, I don't charge them 9 mils, okay? I'll bring them down. I'll put 5 mils on it and save them 5 mils. So I have a nice savings analysis when I'm going to them, okay? But that's the gas bills. Hold on now. I'm going to do some special stuff, okay? And this is where it's going to get crazy. We're going to do consolidated bills. Some of these are not, I think they're sideways. So this is a door company in the middle of nowhere. Look at this bill, $45,000. You can see here, these are charges from AEP Ohio, okay? But if you notice, you get this crazy report. All these are meters, okay? You get this crazy consolidation. I'm not going to turn this sideways. I'm just going to, I thought this was going to go sideways, but it's okay. If you notice, direct energy's here. See all these direct energy business, direct energy, Sugar Creek, direct energy. That means that direct energy is billing them with another bill separately. That's consolidation billing. This is in Ohio, okay? So you're going to run across some of this. If you get this, don't price just the $45,000. Direct energy is sending them another bill, okay? So I'm just trying to tell you guys this. This is the kind of stuff you have to send to us. This is a large account. It's going to be custom quoted anyways. All right, this is one of these special issues. So here's the other one you're going to run across a lot in my territory. All right, it is bypassable transmission. Watch this. So you're looking at Ohio. Here it is, Ohio Edison. You're looking at Ohio Edison bill, and it's got no supplier. Where's the supplier box? This is like one of those new customers I told you about, right? Or somebody that jumped off of a customer and went back to the utility, right? Well, if you look here, we're working on 18,000 kilowatts. They've been up and running for over a year. You can see it's a smaller account, right? But here are the charges from Ohio Edison. It's a general secondary, a GS2, has its little code here, rate code. But if you look here, there's the customer charge, there's the distribution component, right? There's this gas recovery. Then all of a sudden, there's this line in there, bypassable generation and transmission related component. That is supply. And the only way you know that is from me telling you. It's me telling you from experience, that's the supply rate. So how do we do the math on this? We know that they are burning right now, kilowatts used, 684, right? Same math. Let me get that calculator back out here. Hold on one second. This is pretty cool. So we're working with $34.88 and 684 kilowatts. So we'll take 34.88 divided by, my brain is flying around here, 684 equals. They're paying 5 cents a kilowatt. They're right at 5 cents, okay? Close to 5.1 really, but it's 5 cents a kilowatt. So that's what I have to beat. And that's how you do it. Make sure if you see this bypassable generation on any of the bills up here in my market, or even down south, that is the charge for supply. This is a sneaky one. It makes everybody confused. Gary, you're the one I think that had this account, or one of these accounts where this happened, and we figured it out. So that's the end of this training. I'm going to stop this cloud. Hold on. Stop recording.